Now, hey guys, welcome back to the channel Nerd That Engineer video, and welcome to the 11th episode of Easy Farms. And today we'll be talking about iron farms. And iron farm is definitely a big thing for Minecraft. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Little fun fact, this actually had taken me like a week and a half to do. Took me a long time to make this video, because iron farms are quite difficult because there's a lot of parameters I need to set with it, but I eventually managed to get it work. So let's first out with villager hostile mob detection. So if we have a villager that just sits in the center right here, it can just detect a zombie up to 9 blocks away, it can detect a vindicator up to 11 blocks, and a pillager 15 blocks. So if you're making just a simple iron farm, the zombie is probably the way to go, because it has a short range, but if you're going to make a big scale iron farm like that, I would not suggest using it. So today we're actually be focusing on the pillager, because it gives a maximum amount of scare range, while making sure the villagers can't see everyone else. So this is what we'll be using it to advantage, name tile right here. I'm sorry, Vindicator, you're not going to get much love, but yeah, you're just going to rape sand right there. So once I figured this out, then I went on to golem spawning. So we have the villager sitting on top of his perch right now, and he can spawn a golem up to 6 blocks down. And he can spawn it up to... yeah, 6 blocks in any direction. I think 7 blocks is when he's out of the spawning area. But in order for him to be out of the detection zone, so if we use the carpet mods, load ad tracker, we use the built-in carpet mods, iron golem spawning. Right there, we can see that his box is situated, that the green box is the iron golem spawning zone. It ends right here, 6 blocks out, and then this is where it's no longer in the spawning area. And then right here, the column will be taken up to 18 blocks down. So if he sits right here, on this block right there, so this is pretend this is the iron golem, and he's still detectable as he's still inside the 18 blocks range. Part of a hitbox is still in there. But he needs to be 19 blocks down in order for him to no longer be detected, so he needs to sit here. So then his 3 block high gap is just enough so he wouldn't be out of the range. We're using this to our advantage. So then I come up with this simple concept of the villagers and their spawning zones, with the pillager in the center to see how far they need to be away, and it turns out that the area that they need to be enough far away of is just enough for us to squeeze a medium-sized spawning chamber in, and for the villagers not to be able to see all the other golems. Which means that 9 times out of 10, we'll be able to get 4 golems without any problem, versus with other farms, you might only get 3 or 2. This one, you'll always get 3 or 4. Always. Most times you get 4, but in rare occasions you will only get 2. So the spawning areas overlap a little bit, but we're going to be using the outer areas of these spawning, so between this line and right here. This is what we'll be building the spawning area for the iron golems, help to get them out of the spawning area and out of the detection range. So then I come up with this simple iron farm that delivers about 1,800 iron per hour, with the spawning areas just inside these zones right here, and the iron golem detection areas for the other villagers is on this side right here, so if they spawn right here, for example, they will not be detected by their villagers, which is really useful. So basically, every once in a while, these pistons get pushed down by a hopper clock over here, and the hopper clock just like moves an item around. It's a single item, so it probably will show up here anytime soon. And it just pushes the piston down, allowing them to allowing the villagers to sleep for a little bit. As you can see, if it were at night, they would sleep, and then he would come back up. And then, yeah, and then there's a simple just collection zone. The iron golems just flow down in the center where they're killed by lava. And then their drops are collected by a bunch of hoppers and goes into my hopper clock over there. Quite simple, a little expensive to design, but deals a lot of iron and is very efficient. So now let's move on to the big boy design. This thing can yield a maximum of 12,000 and a minimum of 2,000, depending on how much iron the golems drop. This thing is an absolute monster, and went through many, and I mean many tries to get it to what it is today. Beautiful. So it's got 5 cores, so it's got 5 spawning areas that are just like that, with the pillager running around on a track that goes to the dead center of all the modules, allowing all the golems to spawn. And then the golems all fly in the center where they're all collected and the traps are funneled over there, underground. And the pillager just keeps running around this track, and then stopping at every single station for just enough time that allows all the villagers to spawn a golem, or occasionally not, if their golem timers aren't updated, because that sometimes happens. Allowing the villagers to sleep, and allow the villagers to recover the talk. The average amount of time is about 50 seconds, but that's not very bad, because we're using a 20-core system, so there's 20 golems that spawn every 2 minutes, basically. 20 golems. That's a pretty efficient farm, in my opinion. This took a lot of designing and is very, very efficient. 12,000 iron is the max. This farm took forever to build, seriously. But at least it's efficient, so I guess that works. I personally won't build this huge of a farm. I would probably build like the one over there, because this is just so huge. But if someone needs a lot of iron, then they can definitely build this farm. It's able to be built in survival mode, but it's just too huge for a project to build in like the NovaCraft server. I mean, I could probably do it, but it's a lot of villagers, and I don't like villagers. I will provide a world download for this build down in the description if you guys would like to check this out for yourself. The rates vary a lot. Sometimes you get 12,000, sometimes you get 2,000s. It depends on how much iron the golems drop. But I thank you all for watching this iron golem spawning video. Only 5 minutes, but that's really all you gotta do. And I'll see you all in the next one, and don't be surprised if there's not much videos this week, because the engineer all is busy. That's just what I gotta say.